Welcome to Milk Honey Rose. So, I was envisioning a rose on display, but it was glistening, okay? Sparkles to it, but in the darkness. Can a rose grow in the dark? In order for the seedling to grow, it's it I'm hearing it must be unearthed. So everything grows in the dark. Everything begins in the darkness. Everything begins beneath a surface. Regardless of what type of surface, moisture is usually involved. Moisture is needed in order for the growth to take place. The element of water, of emotion, of movement, of flow. Okay. A rose is beautiful. The petals are soft and delicate. The stem is strong. The stem, the body of the rose, brings nutrients to the flower. Okay. Then there's thorns. Thorns keep certain energies away. Okay. Thorns are protective. The thorns don't show up until later. Okay. So in the beginning stages of life, your protection comes from those who care for you. Okay. Because the thorns are not there yet. Your ability to recognize something that is a threat or something that you would want to protect yourself from. Think about a child when they're in the kitchen and they're playing and the oven is hot because something is cooking in the oven. And you tell the child, don't touch the oven. Sometimes they listen. Sometimes they end up touching the oven. Just like in movies, you see them say, don't touch the red button, and somebody presses the red button, right? So what I'm getting here is, this energy where it's like, until that child actually feels the heat, that's when it registers like, oh, this is what hot is. Okay, so I need, now I'm going to remember why it's important for me not to touch the oven. Especially when I'm warned. I received a warning, but I didn't even know what a warning was. And as a child, it's like, I still don't know, but I understand why, because it could hurt me. I understand why I should leave that alone, right? Okay, so there's something here about that as well. It's like, through time, you begin to recognize and understand what's good for you and what's not good for you. The problem comes in when you avoid what you know to be true. When you already know when something is not the best for you. And then when you know that something is just fine. Okay, it's the right thing for you. To avoid that inner knowing when you should leave someone or something or some space alone and you continue to go, that is to one's detriment, one's own detriment for making the decision, because ultimately the choice is yours. Okay. So it's like a reminder. I want to say it's coming through like a reminder, but it's also coming through as recognition, something to remember, a moment when you went back to a situation that you knew was not the best for you because of the circumstances. or the situation, it didn't really fit you. You may have thought it fit you initially, but to recognize when something does not fit and to allow it to stay, that's where the problem comes in. As soon as I said that's when the problem comes in, I saw a rose begin to wither and a petal fell off. Okay. Now I'm hearing rebirth, transformation. Those moments of recognition are transformation. They're transformative. That's what they're made for. That's what they're meant for. These experiences are meant for transformation. One suffers most when you don't transform when you're meant to. Okay? Regardless of what anyone says around you, regardless of how wrong it might look, regardless of how it may not seem, sometimes it's like that, and you can get tripped up, and it may not seem like the right move based on status or stats. I want to say not status, but stats. Meanwhile, that's the right direction, because, okay, there are many times in life where you may have began to go one way, but then another way presented itself, and that's how it was meant to be. It was meant to happen that way because there are lessons along the way, regardless of if you continue on a certain journey or if you end up seeing another doorway that was actually meant for you to see. Okay. It's about recognizing the entryway, recognizing a door opening for you, and not being afraid to walk through that door. I'm literally seeing a red door, and it's like strong and big. It's one of those doors that are on a castle. They just big and strong, and it's very ancient. There's a lion. You know those, I don't know what you call it. Is it like a door knocker? I think that's what it is. And it's golden. It's a lion, and the lion has the hoop in its mouth, holding it, and that's how you knock. Okay. The lion opens the gate. Lion's gate. Portal. Okay. I'm just picking up signals. Okay. The lion opens the gate. Lions have high energy. They're bright. They are, that's Leo energy. Want to be seen, want to be heard, and will be seen and heard. Okay, that's just the energy that I'm picking up on. And it has a lot to do with the thorns. Thorns are protective and protecting. Now I'm hearing the thorns protect the lion. But the thorns don't hurt the lion when the lion learns. Okay, it's about the lessons, of course. I heard you no longer have to knock. What does that knock represent? You no longer have to knock on that door because it opens for you. If you have to knock and you don't have the key to the doors within you, then there's more work for you to do. Because the doors will open on their own when you learn the lesson, is what I'm getting. Okay, so there's something here about that. Okay, this energy is coming through stating that some of you may think that doors are not opening for you, but there's just a lesson that needs to be learned. There's lessons for you to experience so that you're prepared for what's beyond that doorway. Okay, it's a threshold. I'm hearing rites of passage now. Learning the lesson is the rite of passage. It is the key. Learning the lesson. You have to recognize what you've been taught. That's another aspect of getting that spiritual certificate, the spiritual certification, so you could rank up, rank higher spiritually. Spiritual ranking increases. Every door that opens increases spiritual ranking. Every door that opens. And there are some doors where you have the ability to just open them. Like, you don't even need to do much of anything because the lessons have already been learned. It's just that you have to make the decision. You have to make the decision to walk through. And that's you doing something that you might feel uncomfortable doing, but you know that it's meant for you to go in that direction. It's meant for you to go that way. Those are those moments when you know what it is, but then you're like, wait, I shouldn't. Maybe I know. No, I don't think so. Maybe I should wait. Yeah, that's what it is. Maybe I should wait. And then you're like waiting forever. Okay. Don't go turning to bones now. Activate while you can. Activate while you have the energy to. You know, because there are times in life where you may not have the energy. Something here about that. And it's not that there's something wrong with you. It's in those moments. It's just that you might have other obligations that take you away from being able to focus on that thing. Okay, so it is through experiences that you learn to stay away from certain situations, people, places, and things. In the beginning stages, you don't know any better. But once you do know better, you're meant to accommodate that knowing. When one ignores their own inner knowing, that's when they go through struggle and trouble, making excuses for a situation that no longer serves you. Okay. To know when it's time intuitively because your emotions tell you so, your energy tells you so, even your logic, every aspect of you is calling out to you to say, pay attention. That's when you know. And a lot of people ignore that aspect of themselves, and that's the magic within them, indicating that something needs to change. So making that change is the doorway becoming, I heard ajar, the door opening for you. That's interesting that when a door is open, another word for that is ajar. That's odd, right? Because a jar is a jar. A jar usually has a top on it. But it's just strange. Like, where did that come from? If you just think about it, it just feels like it doesn't make sense. Let's see. Hold on. I gotta add more to it. Okay. So let me read this to you. It says, well, I typed in the question, where did the word ajar come from regarding a door being open? Because to me, it just seems like it doesn't fit. But it says, the word ajar originates from the Old English term seer. I'm not sure if that I'm pronouncing that right, but it's CIERR, meaning a turn or on the turn. This term evolved into Middle English char And by the 1700s in England, it became on char. The modern word ajar is first documented in English in 1718 and is thought to have come from achar, a Scottish variant, or on char. The term ajar is used to describe a door or window that is slightly open, allowing a small gap. I'm still like, why that word though? Why choose that? A turn. It means a turn. A turn. Your turn? It's your turn. Oh, okay. I'll take that. It's your turn to walk through the door. That's interesting. Well, to open a jar, you do have to turn it. To open a door, you have to turn a knob when there is a door with a knob. So, I mean, I'll take it. Okay. I just wanted to deep dive into that for a second because it just tickled my brain. And anytime I have a brain tickle, I want to follow it and see what's inside. Okay. So it's your turn. It is your turn. Maybe it's time for you to take a turn away from the route that you're on, or maybe it's time to turn back to a route that you were on and you moved from. Now, that is at your discretion because it would depend on you. You would know that. You would know if you're off track or on track. And if you don't know, you definitely have some work to do, which, that's no shame. That's something that we all experience in life. Okay. And we all have work to do in certain areas. It's just a part of the journey. And to not be fearful of the journey, but embrace it and allow it to speak to you. Allow your journey to speak to you. Okay. And allow your soul to answer. And as you just flow with it, you begin to see those doors open and you begin to see that is your turn. Okay. So that's what I'm getting here. In this moment, there is a direction in which you're meant to go. If you don't go where you feel you should, the door will not open. Because it's like the last step for you to make that decision, regardless of how it may seem. Sometimes you might feel like something is not right because of how it looks, and meanwhile it's just right. And it really goes by your discernment, like how you feel about it. Does it feel good to you? That's what it's really about. Does it feel like, and I mean on a soul level, does it feel good to you? On a soul level, on a deep level, is your spirit joyful about this action that you're taking? That's when you know for sure. I looked at the clock, it's at 8:41. That caught my eye, so let me look it up. 8:41. Let's see. Okay. Angel number 841 signifies the manifestation of your hard work and intentions, encouraging you to focus on personal growth, stability, and new beginnings. That's exactly what I'm talking about here. Okay, this just caught my eye. It says, personal growth and leadership. Seeing 841 frequently may indicate that you are at a pivotal moment in your spiritual journey. That is what I'm feeling right now. Isn't that amazing? It encourages you to embrace leadership roles and take charge of your life. That's exactly what this message feels like to me. And I looked at the timer a few times, but the time that stood out to me was 8:41. You see how You get little messages. It just in these random moments, and you may think that it's nothing, but you not going on a little mini journey to figure out what that moment means to you, you can miss out on a personal message that's handpicked directly from the universe to share with you, directly from the spirit realm to share with you, from the unseen, just dropping a dime on you, like, here, let me help you with something. That's just our environment working with us, because we are one with our environment. Okay, so it says, it encourages you to embrace leadership roles and take charge of your life, especially during challenging times. Your angels are guiding you to focus on your personal growth and self-reliance. Relying on oneself, it could be the pivotal moment for you as well. Relying on yourself to complete a certain task that maybe you felt something that you were not interested in, or something that you would never do. And then in this moment, or in whatever moment that may be for you, you have this inkling to want to do that thing. Go do it, because it will take you to a place where you're meant to be. Okay, so that is it for this message. I enjoyed the message. I like going through the labyrinth. The labyrinths are special because they have like hidden gems, like a video game, and you see little glowing tools that you could use on your journey, and you just pick it up and put it in a little backpack. Okay, that's what I feel when I go through these messages. And yes, so sign up for my newsletter. It is available, so you'll see that at the end of this video. So you could just scan the little QR code, and it will send you right to the page to enter your email. Okay, and anytime I have some news or something coming up that I want to share with you, you will receive an email from moi, Mystic. And I'll see you in the next one.